This is a KMVT Sports presentation.
It's time for Central Coast Section playoff basketball. Today, a Division II first-round women's matchup. As the Central Coast Section's fourth-ranked team, the St. Francis Lancers play host to the Mount Pleasant Cardinals. A very pleasant good evening from the Rascom Memorial Gymnasium. Along with Johnny Reed, I'm Brian Burkett. Glad to have you with us on KMVT. St. Francis checks in 22-4 overall. 9-3 was the Lancers' league record, third place in the De Anza division. Meanwhile, for Mount Pleasant, they went 7-7 in league, 11-10 overall. And you look at the standings from the De Anza division and the division that Mount Pleasant participated in. Westmont, a very good team out of the Blossom Valley League, and they won that division. Overall, though, John, the Lancers, a very good showing. Mount Pleasant, not a bad showing in the division that they were in.
Yes, we do know a lot about the Lancers, not much about Mount Pleasant. Of course, the Lancers are a very senior-laden group. A lot of these girls were playing as sophomores. Now they're up as seniors. This is really the year that the Lancers have got a great shot at the Central Coast Section title. As I guess they're going to introduce the whole roster here tonight. But very top three, tough top three. Homestead #1 seed, Lancers #2 seed in Division II. Monte Vista went up to Division I. So those three teams really had a battle for the top three places. Lancers finished a very close third, but not much separated those teams.
Yeah, good point. And head coach Joe DeMichele of the Mount Pleasant Cardinals, he knows that this is going to be a tough test tonight. DeMichele in his second year as the Cardinals head coach after spending the last 4 years over at Yerba Buena. His team comes in as the number 15 seed in this Division II group. All of the Lancers, as Johnny mentioned, being introduced. And as the Lancers are introduced for head coach Mike DiCarlo in his third season as the St. Francis head man. Of course, Mike was a coach over on the men's side for a while on the lower levels. We'll get a look at the starting lineups for tonight's game. We'll start with the visiting Cardinals of Mount Pleasant. A back cart of Amanda Escobar and Nikki Santos. The forwards, Yvonne Cias and April Miranda. Alicia Cias is the center. Yvonne and Alicia are sisters. For the St. Francis Lancers, this is the way they stack up. The guards are Courtney Keegan and Teresa Guerra. The forwards, Charlie Ryerson and Sandy Oseguera. Heather Goodell-Kelly, a senior, starting at center. Goodell-Kelly is 6 feet tall and one of 8 seniors on this veteran Lancer team. And John, you touched on it just a moment ago. Head coach Mike DiCarlo and assistant coach Steve Smith really believe that this is the year for their team.
Well, that's the best. I mean, one of the top, Oseguera Jr., but still, this is the year. I mean, they got some great players and a great senior off the bench in Nikki Heil. And Nikki Heil is probably, to be honest, she's the most explosive offensive weapon. She's really tough inside. She's 6'2". She's really developed. On the other hand, I want to see what the Cardinals do offensively tonight. How much of that clock are they going to burn, that 30-second clock? Because you know they don't want to have St. Francis have the basketball.
A couple of players to watch for Mount Pleasant are Escobar, 5'4" junior, and April Miranda, 5'8" senior. Yvonne Cias, a 5'9" sophomore, starting up front along with Alicia Cias. Yvonne Cias' older sister. Alicia is 5'11", a senior. Nikki Santos, a 5'8" sophomore, rounding things out for the Cardinals.
Yes, 2 sophomores and a junior for the Cardinals starting lineup.
Craig Kersey to toss it in the air. Will Lewis, the other official. Lancers control the tap. Courtney Keegan lays it in. It's quickly 2-0 Lancers.
Set play off the jump ball. Lancers full court press.
Keegan, a 5'9" senior, one of the best free throw shooters for head coach Mike DiCarlo. 7:40 to go, first quarter. Lancers up by 2. This is April Miranda, number 40, backing in on Charlie Ryerson. Down to 10 on the 30-second shot clock. Lancers looking very good, packing in this 2-3 zone. Down to 5 on the timer. 3, 2, one. A desperation shot. Misses everything for Miranda. Mark it on the ice. A shot clock violation. It goes over to the Lancers.
Well, they didn't want to take a lot of the shot clock off, but Lancers good pressure, and it's tough to get in that half-court set. Courtney Keegan, you mentioned, she holds the school record for percentage for one season, set last year at 72.3%.
A three by Ryerson. Bingo! 5-0 St. Francis a minute into the game. Ryerson, a 5'10 senior. She did not waste any time. She was left all by herself, and she drained the triple. Head coach Mike DiCarlo barking defensive instructions. Miranda trying to get by Ryerson. Shot on the way by Amanda Escobar, cleared by Goodell Kelly. The Lancers push. Keegan, nice pass to Ryerson, out of control. Foul called Mount Pleasant. And a good job by the Lancers getting up the floor in a hurry. The foul called against Amanda Escobar, the 5'4 junior.
There's the replay, and look, well, there's a foul there. I thought Ryerson might have lost control early, but the Lancers, of course, they don't need a shot clock, at least in the early going. They scored twice. I don't know why that wasn't a shooting foul then.
Will Lewis called it before the shot, so the Lancers inbound underneath. Try to set it up. Keegan, a very good three-point shooter. We've already seen Ryerson shoot the three. Ryerson stepping inside the bubble, misses. Got it back, dumped it off. Keegan strong to the 10, and she scores. Keegan with 2 field goals. 7-0 Lancers, 6:20 to go in the first quarter. Trouble in the backcourt for Escobar. The trapping defense for the Lancers results in a Goodell Kelly hoop.
Tim McKelly needs a timeout, Brian, right now.
His team breaks the press, and then a foul called in the corner. Well, did Will Lewis call a foul, or did he say it was just knocked out of bounds? He said that Teresa Guerra just knocked it out of bounds, so no foul. It stays with the Cardinals. 2 minutes into the game, it's already 9-0 St. Francis. 2 field goals for Courtney Keegan, a 3 by Charlie Ryerson, a layup for Goodell Kelly, and now Sandio Segura gets into the act off the steal. Mount Pleasant overmatched at this point. 5:47 to go in the first quarter. Lancers up 11-0.
Well, that full court press, I mean, they have no way to attack it. You need a timeout to gather yourself, get everybody in a spot. But Tim McKelly's not calling one right now. It's unfortunate.
There's a layup for Nikki Santos, number 42, 5'8 sophomore, and the Cardinals are on the board. That time, Santos able to get free on the low blocks. And now a steal. Taking it away is Alicia Cias, number 43. And a chance for the Cardinals to get their second hoop of the game. It's 11-2 Lancers, 5:15 to go in the first quarter. The runner won't go. The putback won't go, and now the Lancers on the break. Kicking it out, Ryerson open 3, no good. Keegan, Oseguera, Guerra, foot on the line, rims out. Keegan offensive board, fouled on the way up. That's a 2-shot foul. Give it to Yvonne Cias, 5'9 sophomore, with her first personal.
Yeah, you could call foot on the line, but Will Lewis was going to give him the 3. He had his arm up. But Lance's got to be a little patient. It's a matchup 2-3 zone out there. They want to score 30 points at once. They know that they have more talent than this club, and they're trying to score all at once. You just got to get one hoop at a time.
4:56 to go in the first quarter. Keegan, virtually automatic at the line. 72% foul shooter a season ago, a little bit above that average this year. This is her senior season. Courtney already has 5 points. Give her 6. She nails both. 13-2 St. Francis. There's that backcourt pressure. A looping pass and a ticky-tack foul against Courtney Keegan, her first. Amber Willauer, number 41, has stepped on for Mount Pleasant. Willauer, a 5'8 senior. Lancers doing a good job of boxing out. Keegan leading Ryerson for 2. 15-2 St. Francis. Cardinals break the press. Guerra swats Alicia Cias. Mount Pleasant ball with 4:21 to go in the first quarter. What a rejection by Teresa Guerra.
Could be her first career block, 5'5". She probably didn't get a lot of chances.
Here's a three on the way, no good by April Miranda. Followed by Nikki Santos. Santos has the only basket for Mount Pleasant. The rebound swept away by Ryerson. Guerra kicks it over to Charlie. Three, no.
Again, her foot was on the line, and Lewis was going to give her the three again. That's twice. They don't need any help, Will.
Under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Lancers by 13, and April Miranda looking to set things up. Off the ball, a foul is called in the key. Looks like this foul is working against the Cardinals. Alicia Cias. I'll check it, give it to Nikki Santos. Santos with her first personal, 5'8" sophomore. Third team foul against Mount Pleasant. So far it's been all Lancers. Guerra, that's a three. Bingo! Teresa Guerra with the second Lancer three of the quarter, 18-2. Miranda, short. Keegan, head up. Bounce pass, Guerra, a little late with the pass to Heather Goodell Kelly. Miranda intercepted, and here comes April for the Cardinals. 3:07 to go, first quarter. Mount Pleasant down by 16, and here's a steal. Ryerson all the way, no problem. Ryerson with 7 points. Lancers lead by 18.
Still no timeout, Brian. I can't understand it. He's just going to let this thing play out, but it's very demoralizing at this point.
Here's a steal by Courtney Keegan. Swoop to the hoop, mark it on the ice. 22-2. Timeout finally by Mount Pleasant.
Wow, this is way too late for the timeout. These kids were totally disorganized. Nobody's going to the basketball there. There was a case. They're throwing the pass. Girls are standing. Very fundamentally poor club, unfortunately, for the Cardinals. They're not moving. They're totally just out of sync. And the Lancers are playing fair defense, but I mean, that's automatic. Keegan there, she's having a field day. How many transition baskets have there been? About half of them have been all transition hoops. They're not getting back. They're not hustling. Just all sorts of things going around for Mount Pleasant.
Well, the Lancers started off at 11-0, and then Mount Pleasant got the basket from Nikki Santos to make it 11-2. And again, another 11-0 run by the Lancers to get it to 22-2. No question about it. St. Francis, the better team here. They're the 2 seed, and they could very easily be the 1 seed if they hadn't lost late in the season to Homestead.
Now, Nicky Heil in, he's got to get some reserves in. Gives the kids a rest. They don't want to be too brutal tonight, but they've still got the full court pressure on. It's all man, but Mike DeCarlo has to be careful about really running it up tonight, but still he could probably do that anyway. Look, folks that haven't seen Nikki Heil, number 22, she's 6'2". She'll just have a field day against this lineup, a much smaller lineup.
She had a very good volleyball season as well for the top-notch St. Francis volleyball team. Whitney Barker has checked in. Shauna McGlennon has also checked in for the Lancers. McGlennon guarding Amber Willauer. Joe DiMichele, the Mount Pleasant head coach, said Willauer is one of his best players. McGlennon with the rebound, then she walked. Turnover St. Francis, one of the rare Lancer mistakes thus far in the first quarter.
It's about the only one they've had, really.
A three by April Miranda won't fall. Ryerson up the floor to McGlennon. She corrals on the right. Keegan over to Whitney Barker, the sophomore, dumping the three with no problem. She was left alone. And Whitney Barker, who played on the varsity last year as a freshman, she's on the score sheet, 25-2. Lancers in firm control, nearly a steal. On the baseline, that one falls off the back rim for Nikki Santos. Keegan tips to Barker, Lancers control. Keegan, entry pass off Heil and taken away by number 14, Susanna Soto, 5'11" sophomore who's checked in for the Cardinals. Miranda guarded by Ryerson. Down to 1:20 to go in the first quarter. Lancers by 23. The turnaround, it's in for Soto. Susanna Soto, number 14, listed at 5'11". She's a sophomore, one of 9 sophomores on this young Mount Pleasant team. Heil underneath with the assist from Charlie Ryerson. Good job by Ryerson to get it to Nikki Heil. We dip under a minute here in the first quarter, and the Lancers with a 27-4 lead.
That's a 108-point pace for 4 quarters, Brian.
Not the type of pace that Mount Pleasant wanted tonight. That's a 2 off the back orange for Nikki Santos. Keegan, Barker, skip past Ryerson. Good ball movement. Lancers, a 3 by Keegan, back orange. It's off Ryerson and out to Mount Pleasant. 31.1 seconds to go in the first quarter. Joe DeMichele, rather. I'm not stressing his name correctly there, making some lineup changes. Saw Courtney Keegan head off to the locker room, probably just going to get a drink of water. She's played the whole quarter. Courtney comes out in favor of Christine Garma. Garma, number 12, moving back on defense as Ryerson guards April Miranda. Amber Willauer, number 41, shadowed by Shauna McGlennon. 10 seconds on the shot clock, 12 on the game clock. Loose ball, stolen by the Lancers. 7 seconds, you've got 6. Ryerson feeds McGlennon, she scores, and time runs out in a dominating first quarter by the Lancers. End of the first quarter, St. Francis 29, Mount Pleasant 4. You're watching the Central Coast Section High School Basketball Playoffs on KMBT. Well, that's what happens when it's 29-4. You start playing with paper or candy or whatever you can get your hands on.
Everyone's a critic, Brian, I'll tell you. But how about this, 120-point pace they're on. I tell you, they could probably do it if they wanted to.
The Lancer defense shining to start the second quarter. Mount Pleasant bailed out with a Lancer on the end line, so it goes back over to the Cardinals. 29-4. St. Francis with a 25-point lead at the end of 1. Entry pass. Alicia Cias can't get it to drop. Loose ball, out of bounds. We have an injured player, and this does not look good at all. Shauna McGlennon is down, and she is crying.
She's really in pain. She wrenched her knee, and that's something you don't want to have in a 29, a big spread like this. You don't want to have it at all anytime, but when the game's out of line like this, McGlennon's down and hurt, and she's being attended to.
Julie Scherenberg, the trainer, is attending to her. We'll see if we can pick up what happened. Keep an eye on 21. She was going for the rebound. Looked like she landed on the other player's foot, John, and they're checking out her right ankle.
Well, if it's an ankle, that's okay, but when you start dealing with the knee, I mean, not that it's okay. You saw she was in deep pain. She went down right away. Even before she got possession of the basketball, she was in deep pain. But Shauna McGlennon, about the 7th or 8th player off the bench there, not bad. Looks like she's standing up. She'll get a nice round of applause. Hopefully it's just a badly sprained ankle, but the long term, Lancers don't want to lose her because she can help down the line.
Absolutely. She's part of the depth that the Lancers have on the bench, and Shauna McGlennon to be attended to on the sideline as you get a look at the crowd here at the Rascob. Looks like Shauna's going to get further attention, taking her shoe off. Play resumes. Mount Pleasant trying to get something going offensively. Miranda can't follow, and here's Barker in the open floor. Whitney Barker pulls up, misses badly, and it's rebounded by Amanda Escobar. Then she gives it right back to Nikki Heil.
Well, Barker's a sophomore. She's going to have to carry the bulk of the scoring load, Luxneer, because most of the scores are gone after this year.
Barker only a sophomore. Good ball movement by the Lancers. Heil unable to finish. And Alicia Sia stepped out of bounds. Lancer ball with 7:03 to go to the half. And even at 29-4, some of the Mount Pleasant students trying to get pumped up over on the far side, getting a little TV time in this lopsided first half. Guerra's miss results in a Lancer foul. Nikki Heil and Courtney Keegan were in the vicinity, and Heil ticketed with her first.
Lancers, yeah, they have a couple reserves out there, but Keegan's out there. Heil's virtually a starter, and Guerra's a starter, but no scoring for the Lancers in the first minute. Scoring pace has calmed down a bit.
Well, they want to ease up on that 100-point plus pace you were referring to.
29-point first quarter, that's not too shabby, and they're not going to enjoy it, because it's not going to be this easy as they go further in this tournament, obviously.
Absolutely not. Winner of this game, by the way, to take on either Leland or Piedmont Hills. Piedmont Hills has been playing very well of late, a power out of the Santa Teresa division of the Blossom Valley League. Heil looked like her hand was in the cookie jar again. That's her second personal.
Back to McLennan's injury. That's the kind of injury, too, that hurts a lot initially, and then the pain kind of subsides. Any ankle, that first initial rip of the ankle, it can really hurt, and then boom, it's not quite so bad as time goes on, so hopefully that's the case.
A three by April Miranda. It rims out. Good follow-up. Amanda Sears, number 35, a 5'11 junior, came in at the quarter break. And she has the third Mount Pleasant hoop of the game, 29-6. Barker from Heather Goodell Kelly overshot the basket. And now we've got a Mount Pleasant player down. Another ankle problem. And time is out.
I think it's Sears, Amanda Sears, who went down there, and that's too bad, because she had a nice hoop. There's the replay, Brian. Let's see if we can catch it. She goes down right away. She might have stepped on some Lancer's foot. So that's really unusual that you see them back-to-back like that.
Wow, that really is unfortunate. Sears is the injured player, and Julie Scherenberg, the Lancers trainer and pretty much the on-site trainer for the CCS contest, out to take a look at the Mount Pleasant forward. Meanwhile, Shauna McGlennon putting her left shoe back on, but it's her right leg that was bothering her. And John, this isn't a pleasant sight at all, as Sears has helped off the floor.
No, she's helped off. McGlennon at least went off on her own power for the most part. But no, it's sad, because Sears, actually, that offensive board was about the best play that Mount Pleasant's had the whole game. That was a nice effort on the offensive boards. Banked it right in. You know, nice, talented play, but that doesn't help them a bit.
6:10 to go, first half. Yvonne Cias has returned to the Cardinal lineup, and Yvonne Cias tied up with Teresa Guerra. The jump ball favors the Lancers. And here comes Nikki Santos, number 42, back for the Cardinals, replacing 31 Amanda Escobar. Whitney Barker, meanwhile, comes out. Good job by the sophomore, as Sandiosa Guerra checks back in for St. Francis.
I've seen Barker a couple times now. She can shoot the basketball. I don't think, well, the Cardinals are in a man-to-man now. They had to switch out. But Mike DiCarlo's not too happy the Lancers haven't scored in the first 2 minutes here in the second quarter.
29-6 Lancers. Goodell Kelly, good turnaround. Heather with 4 points. 6-foot senior has really stepped up her game toward the later stages of this season, and it's 31-6 Lancers.
Yeah, but DiCarlo put his first unit back in. He wasn't too thrilled that they haven't put any points on the board in the first 2 minutes.
5:23 to go, first half. Alicia Cias stifled underneath. Good look. Oseguera, nice feed. Charlie Ryerson. Sandiosa Guerra with 4 points. 33-6 St. Francis. 5 minutes to go to the half.
I think that's what.
Now here's a steal. Sandiosa Guerra. Courtney Keegan, good trailer. Put it on the board. 35-6 Lancers. A whistle. Baseline violation. Cardinals turn it over, and it's getting ugly in a hurry.
Well, he put his first unit back, and he's got 2 good assists right there, 2 good hoops, and that's what he's striving for, passing the basketball, hitting the open player.
Keegan. Courtney Keegan already in double figures with a dozen points. 37-6 St. Francis and John. Unfortunately, these are the type of scores you're going to see here in the early rounds of CCS play. There's a basket. A basket for Amber Willauer. Willauer, a 5'8" senior. Cardinals unable to get back in transition. Heather Goodell Kelly takes advantage.
Now you got to get back quickly.
April Miranda to the middle, kicks it out. Santos lobbing it inside. The save by Guerra, but it wound up in Santos's hands. She couldn't connect. And the Lancers up the floor quickly again. Keegan returning to Goodell Kelly. Save to Oseguera. Bingo. Wow. 41-8. 3:50 to go first half.
If it was a heavyweight fight, they'd stop it.
Yes.
No doubt about that. Unfortunately, got to play 4 quarters.
A 3, it's a 2. Scored a 2 for Amber Willauer. And you know what? If I was Will Lewis, just on principle, I'd score it a 3, but it was scored a 2, and it's 41-10.
That was close. I thought she was behind the line there. I thought that was very close.
Will Lewis has already been faked out on a couple of those chalk straddlers.
Yes, he has.
That one was a deuce, though.
This is an easy game to officiate. There's not a lot of pressure tonight.
Yeah, keep your whistle in your pocket, by the way. Now, just as soon as I say that, Will Lewis has a 3-second call in the lane.
Of all things, a rare whistle in this level.
3:11 to go, first half. Lancers 41, Cardinals 10. Alicia Cias checks out, and Susanna Soto, 5'11" sophomore, number 14, has returned for the team in black. Turnaround by Soto, yes! Nice touch by Susanna Soto. 41-12. Getting word from the Lancer bench, Shauna McGlennon, a mild sprain on her right ankle, will not return because of the score, and a smart move by Coach Mike DiCarlo. They don't need it.
No reason to play her. And watch the Did McKelly trying to post Guerra down low, the shorter Guerra.
Santos missed the runner, cleared by Heather Goodell Kelly. Lancers lead 41-12, 2:20 to go in the first half. Guerra wide open, thought about it, steps inside the bubble. Here's Ryerson cutting around and drilling the outside jumper. For Charlie, that's point number 9 in the game. 43-12, under 2 to go in the first half.
See if you can see it. You couldn't see it because they ran the hoop. They were trying to post Guerra and say down low, the shorter Guerra. She's fronting. There it is.
And Guerra on the right wing, shadowing Yvonne Cias. Skip pass, trouble, nearly intercepted by Keegan. Down to 8 on the shot clock. Cardinals have to hurry. They've already been nailed on 1 shot clock violation. And before time runs out on the 30, Guerra intercepts. Lancers break. Oseguera, she walked, no basket.
That's a good call by Craig Kersey. She definitely took that shuffle.
Minute 26 to go in the first half. Lancers lead by 31, 43-12. And Kristen Whittel, 5'9" senior, number 32, checks in for Mike DiCarlo.
I wonder what point of the game, Brian. We'll see the freshman, Chrissy Hirsch, about up for this game. She might get some action as this game continues this way. Oh, well, misinformed her. I thought she was sophomore. Are you sure? Oh, well, we'll check on that.
Did she redshirt a year?
Not according to my sources.
Just over a minute to go here in the first half. Steal by Ryerson. Baseball pass. Keegan somehow got it to Kristen Whittel. Tic-tac-toe. away we go. 45-12 Lancers. Timeout, Mount Pleasant, 52.5 seconds remaining in the first half. And Joe DiMichele trying to salvage something positive out of this lopsided first half.
Well, you wonder why he called it now, unless he's going to substitute some minutes. A little late to be calling a timeout at this point. I thought Wattell got away with a little shuffle before she shot it. That could have been a travel, but 52.5 remaining. Maybe DiMichele wants to run a certain play, look for a certain player. Again, he's got some young players, Brian. Again, a lot of underclassmen on this club. Getting experience the hard way tonight, unfortunately, but perhaps they can learn something to take with them for next year and build on it.
Just to update some of those who might be tuning in and sticking with us after they found out the score was 45-12, you saw the shot of Shauna McGlennon on the sideline with ice on her right ankle. Again, mild ankle sprain, will not return because of precautionary measures, and judging by that camera angle, it looks like she's okay, and in a situation where it's 45-12, her services are not needed the rest of this game. So Mike DiCarlo just deciding to let Shauna ice that ankle down and hopefully be back for the next contest. Amber Willauer missed the runner. Christine Garma stepped on for the Lancers. Garma running the point. Christine's nickname, K. They call her K here at St. Francis. Keegan, good board work, got a nice pass, and 47-12 in the Lancers' favor is our story with 10 seconds to go in the half. Cardinals try to work it offensively, and number 13, Sheena Sharma, 5'9" junior, hacked by Christine Garma. K being whistled for a foul by Will Lewis. Under 10 to go in the first half. Now we're under 5. Now we're under 3. And the buzzer goes off with the Cardinals not even getting a shot away. Halftime at the Rascobb Memorial Pavilion. All Lancers, 47-12. You're watching the Central Coast Section High School Basketball Playoffs on KMBT. The number 2 seed in Division II rolling so far as we start the third quarter, 47-12. St. Francis leading Mount Pleasant. Along with Chrissy Hirsch and Johnny Reed, I'm Brian Burkett. So glad you've joined us here. St. Francis ended the season as the 4th ranked team in the Central Coast Section women's basketball poll. Monte Vista number 1, Mitty number 2. Those two teams favored to meet in Division I at the championship round there. Homestead in the number 3 ranking. They're the 1 seed in Division II. They could be on a collision course with the Lancers. Sacred Heart Cathedral, a very strong number 1 team, a Division I team, and they had a 23-3 record this year. Newark Memorial, Pinewood, Presentation, Santa Cruz, Terra Nova round out the top 10.
Lancers obviously in control, 47-12. Starting unit will start, Brian, as we get underway. We'll get the individual scoring as we go along.
Mount Pleasant sets up, down by 35 points. Ryerson steps in the way and knocks that ball out of bounds.
You wonder what Joe DiMichele could tell his girls. Not much you can say. I mean, you're getting absolutely demolished. But Courtney Keegan, 14 points, a lot of on transition and follow shots. Charlie Ryerson shooting well with 9 points, leading the Lancers. Osagara and Goodell Kelly with 6. Ware and Barker with a 3 each, and Wattell and Heil with 2 each, along with McLennan, who's out for the rest of the game. She had 2 as well.
McLennan with a mild ankle sprain in the second quarter, says she's fine, but she will not return tonight. Lancers hope that she'll be back for their next game, which is coming up against either Leland or Piedmont Hills. Guerra runs down the baseball pass from Ryerson. Chuck up top, works it over to Sandy Osagara, intercepted though. April Miranda, nice pass to Amber Willauer. She misses the layup. Willauer goes down hard, and another timeout. An official's timeout to check on Amber Willauer, the 5'8" senior.
These girls are really Going to the floor hard. I don't think she really twisted anything. Let's see. She might have had a little ankle there too, but she's limping a little bit. Courtney Keegan is just having her way on both ends of the floor. Nobody's guarding her at all. And defensively, she's just dominating this game. And you notice the Lancers, whenever the shot goes up, especially from any distance out, the Lancers will release a player. They're really looking to run now.
7:08 to go, third quarter, 47-12, Lancers. Ryerson, a 3, air ball.
She got fouled badly, no call.
Guerra, 3, back orange. Still in play, Goodell Kelly muscles her way up. No doubt about the contact there, 2 shots for Heather.
Yeah, Ryerson gave the arms up. Well, what happened on that? She's not going to miss that badly. She's the school record holder for most three-pointers in a season, 17 last year.
Alicia Cias hacked Goodell Kelly on the way up. A pair for Heather, missed the first. Goodell Kelly with 6 points in the first half.
40. Go ahead, Brian.
Well, Lancers yet to score here at the start of the third quarter. They didn't score early on in the second quarter either. There's Goodell Kelly's first free throw success story of the day, and it's 48-12 Lancers.
Well, 47 first half points. Oh, they did have free throws, 2 by Keegan. I didn't see that at the top of my book. But.
Oh, they're easy to forget, believe me. They were scoring a lot of field goals, mostly layups and a couple of three-pointers in the mix. Here's a 3 by April Miranda, back orange and out. Miranda corrals the offensive rebound. A long 2, no good by Amanda Escobar. Followed up, though, Alicia Cias. Good stick-to-itiveness, and it's 48-14. 6:14 remaining in the third period. Skip pass wide open is Keegan. Great screen by Goodell Kelly.
Cardinals in a 2-3 zone, and nobody's keeping an eye on Keegan. She's just going carte blanche wherever she wants and getting the ball in good position to shoot.
The turnaround air ball. Miranda's oxygen mask controlled by the Lancers. Another layup, this one by Sandy Oseguera. (52-14) Lancers with 5:25 to go in the third quarter. And a foul out high by Teresa Guerra.
Now you're getting an area very shortly, Brian, where Mike DeCarlo has to make a decision. Do I want to put a lot of points on the board and look impressive to everybody else in the division? Do I want to rest some of these key players? Because you've seen 2 girls go down with ankles already. And if they get somebody hurt, one of these pivotal players for the Lancers, running, blowing out this club right here, it's not going to be worth it.
Oseguera off the Cardinal turnover. No, but there's Heather Goodell Kelly to follow it. Goodell Kelly with 9. And it's a 40-point Lancer lead. The banker for Amber Willauer. 54-16, St. Francis. Number 15, Louise Sarabosing, a 5'7" junior, has come on for the Cardinals. A 3 by Ryerson, bingo! Charlie Ryerson with a dozen. 4:38 remaining in the third quarter, and that's your story from the Raskov. Miranda airballs a 3. Goodell Kelly soars to bring it in. Keegan down the middle, good kick out, nice ball work, 2 for Oseguera. Oseguera now in double figures, 59-16, 4:10 to go in the third quarter.
See a few reserves getting ready to come in for the Lancers.
Alicia Cias, no. Goodell Kelly skies for a rebound. Keegan whips Ryerson, banker no. Chuck gets it back up strong, foul, no go on the shot. 2 throws for Charlie Ryerson.
Well, you saw what I was talking about. There's a prime example. Ryerson just took off automatically. One player is going down as the reserves come in now. Brian, but they're dominating the defensive boards for the most part, and they're willing to take the chance. It just sends a player, and getting a player ahead of the pack every time.
John Reed mentioned there were players waiting to come in for the Lancers. They have entered. Whitney Barker, Nikki Heil, and Gina Schussler, number 23, a 5'9" junior, have all come aboard. Mount Pleasant makes a change. Yvonne Cias, sophomore, number 34, comes aboard. 3:50 to go in the third quarter. 59-16 Lancers, and they control the offensive rebound after the missed free throw. Whitney Barker, defender went by, shot is short, tipped out of there. Lancers reset with a fresh 30. Interior to Heil, she's in the lane too long, 3 seconds.
Well, Ryerson got called on that. She was in there, the rim went up. It was the three, but it was about a quick three. She was right on the borderline. I was watching her the whole way. She had a foot in the lane.
Lancers with 4 losses on the season. 1 to Mitty, 2 to Monte Vista, 1 to Homestead. That loss to the Mustangs, the reason that the Lancers finished 3rd in the division, the De Anza division, and that's why they're the 2 seed in Division II instead of the 1 seed. Homestead able to get that top seed in Division II, and that meant a first-round bye for Ernie Dosa's team.
Well, 3 out of the top 4 teams in the Central Coast section come from that De Anza division. That shows how tough it is.
Yep. Monte Vista, the number 1 ranked team in the CCS, and the 1 seed in Division I. Here's Barker leading Keegan. Bingo. Keegan with 20.
And the recent state rankings that I saw, I think the Matadors were number 8, if I'm not mistaken. They were up there.
Yeah, they were in the top 10.
They were number 8, and that's pretty impressive.
Barker. Oh. And the foul is called. The shot does not fall. April Miranda whacked Whitney going by, a 2-shot foul.
Yeah, that's a felony in 5 states. The whistle came late. That's why I went, oh, I didn't think he was going to call it anything at first.
Here's the replay.
That was a clubbing.
If this were hockey, she'd be serving a penalty 2 minutes in the penalty box. John, just to follow up on what you just said, Monte Vista, last week they were ranked 8th in the state. They've moved up to number 5 now.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you got that at your fingertips. That's very impressive. That's about as high as any girls' team's been ranked in the state in this area. I mean, to my recollection, Monte Vista's had some great girls' teams in the past, and they may have been ranked higher. But that's pretty impressive.
Barker now with 5 points. 63 to 16. Ball is loose. And it's ripped away by Julie Weinbeek, a 5'11 senior. Weinbeek getting her first playing time of the game. Barker spins out a 3. Weinbeek unable to follow it up. And with under 2 minutes to go in the third, the Cardinals look to generate something. 63-16 our score. The Lancers have led the whole way.
Courtney Keegan will probably finish out the quarter, then probably sit. Now here comes Garmer ready as soon as I say that.
Yep. Way to go, Karnak. Gina Schussler in and out. Nikki Santos with the rebound. 1:25 to go in the third quarter. A 2 short for Santos. Weinbeek controls. Keegan with a 2-on-1. Good job. Nice pass. Whitney Barker converts. 65-16. It's a 51-point Lancer lead. Weinbeek smothered Santos. She got a jump ball. Lancer possession.
Well, the Lancers, they haven't really got a good opportunity to work on the half-court set offense because everybody's been so open all the time. So they're not gaining much there, but they are gaining on transition, passing the ball, and it's almost like a drill right now where you have a 3-on-2 or a 2-on-1 drill. You work in practice, and that's what they're coming up with. And they're executing it for the most part and finishing on the offensive end.
Chrissy Hirsch has come aboard. And Nikki Heil getting free on the blocks. So Chrissy Hirsch is in the game. As we dip under the half-minute mark of the period, a foul is called on the drive.
She's a redshirt sophomore, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Identical twin, we have found it. And believe it or not, there was a glitch in the program and we were misinformed. There's her twin on the bench.
Yes, Cindy Hirsch, who's not in there because she has a knee injury.
Judd Hirsch is not here tonight.
No.
Not that we know of. But,
no. Judd Hirsch, famous, I guess, for being Alex Rieger on Taxi. Amber Willauer hits the first of 2 free throws.
Willauer could shoot the ball a little bit. She's fairly impressive.
Made them both. 8 for Willauer. 67-18 Lancers. Christine Garma runs the point. Coming up on the 22nd mark, third quarter. 1 second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Lancers, for all intents and purposes, could play for the final shot. Down to 8. 6. Schussler, no. Rebound, Chrissy Hirsch. 1-0. That'll do it. Third quarter is over. Lancers cannot score as the buzzer goes off. And they'll just have to settle for a 67-18 lead going into the fourth quarter. You're watching high school Central Coast Section playoff basketball on KMVT. The Lancer cheerleaders have had a lot to cheer about in this game as we start the fourth quarter. And nearly a steal by Christine Garma off the Cardinal inbound. It stays with Mount Pleasant. Fourth quarter just underway, 67-18 St. Francis. And no, you did not mishear me. It is 67-18 St. Francis.
Well, this is an ideal situation for Mike DiCarlo. I mean, he couldn't have scripted this any better. Blow him out. We got all reserves in the fourth quarter, and whoever wants to, and we rest all our starters. Nobody got hurt, except for McClellan. Hopefully that didn't look too serious. And he couldn't have just pictured it any better than this.
Chrissy Hirsch from Nikki Heil. It will not fall. Rebounded by the omnipotent April Miranda. Yolanda Uthman, by the way, has checked in number 30 for Mount Pleasant. There's Uthman tied up in the lane and a reach. Garma and Schussler were in the vicinity. Give it to the gal they call Kay, Christine Garma's second personal. The scrappy 5'1" junior. Very good ball handler, according to head coach Mike DiCarlo, and she's kind of the heir apparent at the point guard spot with Courtney Keegan graduating.
There'll be a lot of open spots next year on the Lancers roster. A lot of the key players are graduating.
Alicia Cias, her second field goal, 67-20 with 7 minutes to go in the game. Get a look at Garma's ball handling as she brings it across. Well, this was the year for St. Francis. They took their lumps last year when these players were juniors and sophomores. Now they're seniors and juniors and vying for a Central Coast Section championship and maybe even NorCal aspirations as Kay goes in for 2. Garma's first bucket.
Almost a travel, but they're going to give her a jump stop on that.
It falls in for Amber Willauer.
And I think she got fouled on the play, Brian. That could have been on the line. That was a nice play by Willauer. Offensively, she's by far and away their leader. 11.
Willauer giving the Mount Pleasant students something to cheer about. 69-22. Schussler, Heil, 10 on the timer. Heil forced that one a little bit, saved. Nikki got it back. Rims out. Chrissy Hirsch! Chrissy Hirsch! You cannot stop her. You can only hope to contain her.
Somebody put a body on her.
Her twin sister Cindy loves it. Here's a 3. Miranda can't get it to drop. Heil defensive board. 5:40 to go in the game, and the Lancers lead by 49 points.
Hirsch got away with a little push on that rebound, maybe a big push, but she'll take it. Good sign of aggression Aggressive play by the sophomore.
Chrissy Hirsch. No.
I thought she was El Fuego for a second.
Terry O'Donnell will pick that one up over on the far side as Schussler tried to save it. You know it's garbage time, Johnny, when I start identifying the fans by name.
Oh, I tell you could almost handpick them. The Mount Pleasant boys over there are pretty loud compared to the lack of enthusiasm of the Lancers cheering second. But let's go back to their next opponent. They're going to be 23-4 overall. He's playing the winner of Leland Piedmont Hills. Where's that going to be played?
I know the answer to that. I will have that for you in just a moment.
And when? Date and site. I'm putting you on the spot here.
The answer, sir, is March 1st at Andrew Hill High School.
A neutral site.
Heather Goodell Kelly scores to make it 73-22. Leland, under head coach Rob Carr, 13-12 this year. Piedmont Hills under head coach Steve Hoshi, 16-9. That's a 7-10 game. Leland, the number 7 seed. Piedmont Hills, the number 10 seed there. Should point out the championship round in the CCS will be on Saturday, March 8th.
I'll put you on the spot one more time.
Bring it on, baby. Run down by Kristen Witzel. The Lancers reset it.
As soon as a shot comes up, I'll give you another one.
I don't want to miss Chrissy Hirsch scoring again, John.
No,
as I said, you can only hope to contain her.
And that's hard to do.
Keegan, no. Goodell Kelly back taps, but it's run down by Mount Pleasant, and here's Willauer. Willauer all the way.
You got to like Willauer. Her play, but Courtney Keegan, what's she doing on the floor? I'm sorry. Going to be coming out here. He's still getting the starters a little action here. But back to top two teams, Homestead, St. Francis division. Are there any other teams that can challenge those two teams in that division?
Homestead and St. Francis, as you said, the top 2 seeds in Division II. Look at the bracketing, though. Got Carlmont in there out of the Peninsula Athletic League. They're the 3 seed.
They're a pretty good club.
Lee is not a bad team. They're the 6 seed. Lee, under head coach Earl White, they've got some talented players. Kathy Zerbach. Sarah Volker is out with an injury, but Sarah Warner has been playing well.
So
Lauren Griswold, an outside threat. Longhorns, if you're looking for a dark horse, they could be a sleeper.
So maybe Carmont, maybe Lee.
North Salinas, the 4 seed, they're always tough. Never count out the Vikings, as I've always said.
You've often said that.
Out of that Monterey Bay League. I believe that's the league they play in. Willauer, hooked by Goodell Kelly. And the Mountain View television folks getting a chance to watch some of the Mount Pleasant students cheer.
Well, I've been waiting to say this one all night, but it has not been a very pleasant evening for Mount Pleasant.
Oh.
Thank you very much. I'll be back in...
Good night, everybody.
How do you top that one? But hasn't been a pleasant experience for the Cardinals. But, you know, it's a tough lesson. This is, you know, that's the division they're in. It's too bad they couldn't go down a division. But they got a fairly good-sized school, apparently, and takes what you get.
Well, it's unfortunate that the Central Coast section format exists this way because there are a lot of games like this in the early rounds of the basketball playoffs. This is just one of them. But you look across the board as Sheena Sharma scores, and I've been waiting to say Sheena Sharma's name all night, John.
Yeah, we should have just said that right at the beginning and got it out of the way.
But this is just one of many lopsided scores you'll see in the paper in the early rounds because you get the 1 seeds taking on the number 20 seed. In some cases, for example, Division III men's, there are 21 teams when the February free-for-all starts. And obviously, there are going to be some of those games that are just going to be absolutely brutal.
In Division I girls, what, there's 5 teams?
They're just 5, yeah. That's the opposite end of the spectrum. And in fact, in Division I women's, if Mitty had not moved up, you could conceivably be looking at 4 teams, which means that you're automatically in the semifinals. You win one game, you're in the CCS championship.
When you get to like Monte Vista, they're thinking about state championship. They
Right.
got that in the back of the mind. The CCS is probably a formality for them, not that they won't get a battle. And the Lancers have to be thinking state championship too. I mean, they have to think beyond CCS. Are we going to have a better chance in Division I or Division II?
Willauer off the cup, followed nicely. April Miranda trailing the play, gets the deuce, and it's 73-28, a minute 35 to go in the game.
Talking about the St. Francis boys basketball team, I think it's a tremendous job by Coach Steve Filios, because he didn't have any size at all there, as opposed to that state championship game he had with Kavanaugh and Joe Kavanaugh and Robbie Coley, who were tough inside players, but St. Q carries their toughest inside player.
Yeah, West Catholic League Player of the Year. Following Barker's 3, Mount Pleasant getting a spark here from Amber Willauer in the second half, and Guerra fouled her going by. Interesting, Coach Steve Filios, his team, the #1 seed in Division II men's, they had a bye here in the first week, so the Lancers have gone a full week without playing a game. So prior to this women's basketball contest, Filios had his troops out here and they scrimmaged to try and keep in game-ready condition. Garma dumps off to Kristen Witzel. It rolls off. Under a minute to go in the game. 76-28 Lancers. They have led wire to wire. A 3 no for Miranda. Barker jousting with Stacy Davis, a 5'6" sophomore, who has checked in here in the final minutes. Head coach Joe DiMichele.
This is a lot better than losing a heartbreaking 1-point double overtime loss, I'll tell you that right now.
I will say this for Coach DiMichele. I like the suit. I like the outfit, looking sharp.
A good demeanor, didn't get upset about a thing, just relaxed. Knew he was going to get manhandled tonight.
Under 30 seconds to go in the game. Barker lost it. Garma trying to take it back. Christine Garma. 10 seconds to go. Guerra spins out a 3. Down to 5 seconds. Willauer from Miranda, and that will do it. This one mercifully comes to an end. 76-30, the final score.
Well, I was going to say, a 29-point first quarter was the biggie. Again, looking at that, that's 57 points the rest of the ball game. The last remaining 3 quarters, DiCarlo called off the Dogs for the most part. But like he said, mercifully, this comes to an end. But the Lancers got to work on some things, probably not all the things they wanted to, but it's going to get a little tougher as they go along.
The Lancers advance to the quarterfinals with a 46-point win today over Mount Pleasant. The #2 seed having no trouble. The Lancers will take on either Leland or Piedmont Hills in the next round. That'll do it for our coverage today on Channel 6. Thanks to producer-director Lazarus Sargentidis, technical director Wendy Fleet. For Johnny Reed, I'm Brian Burkett. Thanks for joining us. This has been a KMVT Sports presentation.